Welcome, everyone, to a better version of myself on the deep dive. Ever find yourself feeling, I don't know, a bit stuck?
Yeah, maybe overwhelmed by just the daily grind.
Exactly. Or just wishing you had a bit more resilience, a bit more optimism to pull from.
We've all been there, that feeling of needing something more.
Well, today we are diving deep, and this is a transformative one, folks. We're looking at how to actively, scientifically cultivate a positive mindset.
And the key word there is scientifically. This isn't just, wishful thinking or slapping on a happy face.
Right. Not ignoring the tough stuff.
No, not at all. We're actually exploring how you can, believe it or not, reshape the very structure of your brain.
It sounds wild, but from our experience looking at the research, this stuff works. It leads to real, lasting change.
It really does. It helps you handle life's bumps with more grace, more genuine well-being, and, yeah, more optimism.
Absolutely. So our mission for you today, listening in, it's pretty straightforward but really powerful. First, we'll get super clear on what a positive mindset actually is.
Going beyond the buzzwords.
Definitely. Then we'll unpack the amazing benefits, and these are backed by science that it brings to, well, pretty much every part of your life. Your emotions, even your physical health.
And then the really practical part.
Yes, the best part. We're giving you concrete, actionable strategies. Think of them like brain workouts, things you can start using today to train your brain for real, ingrained positivity.
Think of us as your guides, yeah. We've spent a lot of time digging into this, the research, seeing how it plays out. We'll show the what, but also the why it works.
It's all about unlocking that more resilient, more joyful, well, that better version of yourself.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive right in. Section 1, the science of a positive mindset, how your brain actually works. Because to really get how we can train our brains, we kind of need to understand the basics, right? How this amazing organ functions.
It's fundamental, really, and it's fascinating. Your brain isn't just one solid thing. It's more like this incredibly complex network.
Like
It's exactly like a city. Billions and billions of specialized cells, mostly neurons. These are the brain's messengers.
so they're sending signals all over the place.
Constantly. Electrical signals, chemical signals, zipping information throughout your brain, down your spinal cord, through your whole nervous system. They talk to each other across these tiny gaps called synapses.
Billions of them, you said. That's hard to even imagine.
It's staggering, like a massive nonstop conversation happening inside your head every single second.
And this connects to our thoughts and actions. How?
Well, every single thing you think, every decision, every feeling, it starts with these neurons firing. They fire in specific, really intricate patterns,
Like a sequence.
a precise sequence. Think about something simple, like deciding to pick up your water bottle. That thought, it triggers this immediate cascade. Neurons firing in your planning centers, then signals shooting off to your motor cortex, down to your arm.
All in an instant.
Completely instant. A super coordinated electrical symphony honed by, years of practice.
Wow, okay. And you mentioned this constant activity. That's where the possibility for change comes in.
That's exactly it. The brain is always active, always communicating, and crucially, it's adaptable. That's the key to everything we're talking about today.
Which leads us perfectly into this idea. I've heard the phrase, neurons that fire together wire together. Sounds catchy, but what does it really mean?
Ah, yes. Hebb's law, essentially. It's not just catchy. It's a cornerstone of neuroscience. It's the foundation of how we learn and form habits, basically.
Okay, break it down for us.
So imagine two neurons. If one consistently fires and causes the second one to fire right after it again and again, that connection between them gets stronger.
Stronger how? Like physically?
Yes, literally. The synapse, that connection point, becomes more efficient. Think of it like carving a path in a forest. The first few times, it's tough going.
Right, overgrown.
Exactly. But the more you walk that path, the clearer it gets, the easier it is to travel. It becomes the preferred route. The neurons basically pave a superhighway between them.
So repeated thoughts or actions literally build stronger connections in the brain.
Precisely. This involves complex biochemical stuff, like long-term potentiation or LTP. The receiving neuron gets better at listening, or the sending neuron gets better at talking, you could say. The communication just gets optimized.
So it's not just a temporary link, it's an actual physical change.
Real structural change. And this strengthening, plus the brain's ability to form brand new connections and even prune away unused ones, That's neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, that's the big word here.
It is. It's the brain's incredible ability to adapt, learn, and literally reorganize itself throughout your entire life.
That blows that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks right out of the water, doesn't it?
Completely false. From our experience, and all the science backs this up, change is always possible. Now, maybe it feels a bit harder as we get older.
Why is that? Just inertia. Sort of. Those old pathways, the habits we've built over decades, they're like deep canyons. They're really strong, really efficient. So carving a new path takes more deliberate, conscious effort. But it's absolutely doable.
That's so important for people to hear, is never too late to rewire. I find analogies really helpful here. You mentioned carving a path. Is it like physical exercise too?
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. Think about going to the gym. You don't get biceps after one workout, right?
Definitely not, sadly.
Right. But consistent workouts over time, they gradually change your muscles, strengthen them. These positive brain workouts we'll talk about, they do the same thing for your neural pathways. You're literally building mental muscle.
Making the brain more resilient, more flexible.
Exactly. And we see this kind of change all the time. Think about someone learning a complex skill, like playing the piano.
Okay.
If they practice an hour every day, the brain areas for motor control, hearing, interpreting music, they actually get measurably more developed, more efficient.
Yeah. Or, get this, the classic example, London taxi drivers. Before GPS, they had to memorize thousands of streets, landmarks. This insane test called the knowledge.
I've heard of that. Incredible feat of memory.
It is, and studies show that the part of their brain crucial for spatial memory, the hippocampus, was physically larger, especially in the back part, compared to control groups.
So the brain physically grew to accommodate the demand.
That's what the evidence strongly suggests. It shows just how incredibly adaptable our brains are when we put in that focused, repeated effort.
Okay, so if learning piano or London streets can physically change the brain, imagine what happens when we deliberately focus that power on our thoughts.
Now you're getting it. That brings us right to the mechanics of positive thinking and how it reinforces these pathways.
How does that work specifically?
Well, when you consciously choose to focus on something positive, maybe appreciating a small win, thinking about someone you love, feeling hopeful about the future, you are actively firing specific neurons.
The positivity neurons.
Sort of. You're activating the network associated with that positive thought or feeling. You're essentially lighting up that particular circuit.
And just doing it once isn't enough, right? It's the repetition.
Repetition is everything. Over time, consistently thinking that positive thought, feeling that gratitude, practicing that optimistic outlook, those pathways get stronger, faster, more efficient, like that forest path turning into a highway.
So it becomes easier to access those positive feelings later on.
Much easier. It literally becomes the brain's path of least resistance. It takes less conscious effort to go there. Eventually, it can become your brain's default setting.
So someone who feels naturally negative right now, they could actually train their brain to default to positive, like a real workout.
Absolutely. It's a brain workout. It takes practice, dedication, consistency. But yes, you can fundamentally change your baseline.
And that explains why some people just seem effortlessly happy. It might not be effortless at all. Maybe it's a well-practiced skill.
Often, yes. It's become a deeply ingrained habit, a set of neural pathways they've strengthened over years, maybe without even realizing it consciously. Their brain is just really good at finding the positive channel.
Okay, but then there's the flip side, isn't there? The echo of negativity.
Equally powerful, unfortunately. If neurons that fire together wire together for positivity,
They do the same for negativity.
exactly the same principle applies. When you consistently dwell on negative thoughts, ruminating about worries, criticizing yourself, focusing on what's wrong, you are actively firing and strengthening those neural pathways.
Building highways for negativity.
Precisely. And from what we observe, these negative pathways can become incredibly strong, incredibly efficient, sometimes even more so, because of our brain's natural negativity bias.
That old survival mechanism again, scanning for threats.
Yeah, it primes us to pay more attention to the bad stuff. So these negative loops can get reinforced very easily, making it really, really challenging to break free.
That explains why someone stuck in a really negative rut finds it so hard to shift, even if they want to.
Their brain chemistry and structure are literally working against that shift. It's become the default, the easy path for their thoughts to follow.
You know, you notice that sometimes, right? How easy it is to slip back into old, unhelpful thinking patterns, even when you're trying hard.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like gravity pulling you back down that familiar negative slope.
Yeah.
Those pathways are just so well worn.
And this is crucial, it's not hopeless.
Not at all. That's the empowering part. Even though those negative pathways can be strong, neuroplasticity means they aren't permanent fixtures. With awareness, with intention, with consistent effort, you can disrupt them
Ah.
by consciously choosing different pathways to activate. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, self-compassion over criticism, optimism over pessimism, you are actively weakening the old negative path and building a new positive one.
You're essentially rerouting the traffic in your brain.
That's a great way to put it. You are intentionally carving new channels, choosing where the energy flows. It's an active process of self-directed change.
Okay, that's the science, the how it works. Fascinating stuff. Now let's get into the why. Section 2. The transformative benefits of cultivating positivity. What does all this brain rewiring actually do for us?
The benefits are really wide-ranging, touching almost every aspect of our lives. One of the biggest areas we see improvement in is emotional and cognitive regulation.
Meaning better control over feelings and thoughts.
Exactly. Engaging in these positive practices tangibly changes brain activity in areas that handle how we see ourselves, how we react to stress, and how we manage our emotions.
Can you give an example?
Sure. We've seen studies where consistent positive affirmations actually reduced anxiety levels. Brain scans showed less activity in certain areas when people processed negative stuff about themselves. Basically, they became less reactive to self-criticism.
More self-confident, maybe?
Yeah, and that ties in. Also, things like focusing on positive imagery or memories, even for short bursts daily, that's been shown to create lasting changes in brain regions responsible for emotional control, like the anterior cingulate cortex. And these effects stick around for months.
So it's not just feeling good in the moment, it's building a more resilient emotional foundation.
Precisely. Imagine feeling less tossed around by anxiety, more in charge of your reactions, more secure in yourself. That's a huge shift in quality of life.
No kidding. And this links to the next point, right? Boosting overall brain function.
It does. This enhanced emotional control often goes hand in hand with better executive function. Our research consistently shows positive thinking increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, the PFC.
The brain CEO, right?
Yeah.
Behind the forehead.
That's the one. It's crucial for decision-making, planning, impulse control, all the higher-level thinking.
So thinking positively makes you smarter,
Huh.
more strategic.
In a way, yes. You got it. Dopamine gives you that drive, that pleasure in achieving things. Serotonin helps regulate mood, sleep, just general feelings of contentment when these are flowing nicely.
You just feel better, more energetic, more driven, more optimistic.
Pretty much. It's like your brain is creating its own internal sunshine, fueling your motivation and sense of well-being naturally.
That sounds amazing. And it goes even further, impacting cognitive performance.
Yes, beyond just mood, we see tangible improvements in raw cognitive abilities.
Like what?
Things like better problem-solving skills. You approach challenges with more clarity and creativity. Decision-making becomes sharper, more effective, and a noticeable boost in working memory.
Working memory. That's like the mental scratch pad where you hold info.
Exactly. Crucial for learning, remembering details, handling complex tasks. A positive mindset seems to clear the clutter and enhance that capacity.
So you can tackle that tough project, learn that new skill more effectively. Just function better mentally.
That's the idea. It removes some of the cognitive load that negativity and stress impose.
Okay, this next one often surprises people. The link between positive thinking and actual physical health.
It's truly fascinating, and the evidence is compelling. There's a direct connection. For instance, simply writing about positive experiences, like journaling about gratitude.
Yeah.
Studies show that can lead to significantly lower levels of cortisol,
The stress hormone.
the main one.
Mm-hmm.
Lower cortisol isn't just about feeling less stressed. It's a measurable physiological change. Chronic high cortisol is linked to all sorts of health problems.
Like inflammation, weight gain.
Exactly. And speaking of inflammation, positive thinking has even been shown to reduce systemic inflammation throughout the body.
Wow. That's huge because inflammation is linked to so many chronic diseases.
It really is. And there's even evidence for improved cardiovascular health, better heart rate variability, potentially lower blood pressure.
That is mind-blowing. So your mindset isn't just in your head, it's impacting your whole body down to the cellular level.
It absolutely is. It underscores how integrated mind and body truly are. You can literally boost your physical health by training your mind.
Reducing stress response, maybe boosting immunity, helping your heart, just through mindset work. Incredible.
It highlights the holistic power of this approach.
Okay. The benefits are undeniable. Let's get practical. Section 3, practical brain workouts. How to train for positivity. What are the actual exercises we can do?
Right, time for the how-to. These are the tools to really start forging those new positive pathways. First up, and it's foundational, practice gratitude.
Why is gratitude so powerful?
Because, as we touched on, our brains have that negativity bias. They're naturally scanning for threats, for what's wrong. Gratitude practice is like intentionally redirecting that spotlight.
Forcing the brain to look for the good.
Exactly. You're training it to notice and appreciate what's going right, what you have, what you can be thankful for. It actively counteracts that default negative scan.
So how do we do it effectively? Just think grateful thoughts.
Writing it down seems particularly powerful. And the timing matters. We recommend doing it first thing in the morning.
Why mornings specifically?
When you first wake up, your brain is often still in a theta state. It's a slower brainwave pattern, kind of dreamy, more relaxed, and crucially, more receptive, more programmable, you could say.
Like the subconscious is more accessible?
Sort of. The conscious analytical mind isn't fully booted up yet.
Yeah.
So in that state, consciously identify, maybe write down, or just really feel 3 specific things you're genuinely grateful for.
And they don't have to be huge things.
Not at all. The simpler, the better sometimes. The warmth of your bed, the taste of coffee, a sunny day, a text from a friend, anything. The key is the feeling. Really let yourself feel the appreciation.
Connect with the emotion, not just the idea.
Exactly. Doing this consistently, especially in that receptive morning state, starts activating reward circuits and strengthening those positive pathways right at the start of your day.
So it shifts your focus immediately from lack or problems to abundance and positivity, setting a different tone for the whole day.
Precisely. It changes that neural default. Okay, next technique. Utilize positive affirmations.
Affirmations. Like telling yourself good things. Does that really work? Some people are skeptical.
It can feel a bit awkward at first, for sure. But think about your internal dialogue, that little voice in your head. It's often running a script we're not even aware of.
And often, it's not very kind.
Far too often, it's critical, doubtful, negative. Affirmations are a way to consciously interrupt that script and write a new, more supportive one.
So how do you do it right? Just repeating, I am great.
It needs to be a bit more specific and feel somewhat believable, even if it's aspirational. If you struggle with self-doubt, maybe I am capable of learning and growing, or I handle challenges effectively. If you feel unworthy, I am deserving of respect and happiness.
Things that resonate, even if they feel like a stretch initially.
Yes, and repetition's key. Say them throughout the day. Maybe when you catch that negative voice starting up, and writing them down helps too.
Sticky notes on the mirror, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Visual cues are powerful reinforcers. Seeing I am confident and capable on your computer monitor multiple times a day, that sinks in.
And how does this work neurologically? What's the benefit?
You're actively firing the neural pathways associated with those positive self-beliefs. The more you fire them, the stronger they get. You're literally challenging the old negative self-talk pathways and building alternatives.
So you're gradually changing your self-perception at a brain level.
Exactly. You're constructing a new neural blueprint for how you see yourself. Okay, number 3, curate your environment.
Surround yourself with positivity. This sounds important, but maybe overlooked.
Hugely important and definitely overlooked. We're social creatures. The people we spend time with, the news we consume, even the physical space we're in. It all impacts our mental state profoundly.
Like emotional contagion. You catch moods.
You really do. Negativity, cynicism, complaining, it's contagious. But so is positivity, optimism, and encouragement.
So this is about being really intentional about who you hang out with.
Absolutely. Actively seek out people who uplift you, who inspire you, who make you feel good, people who radiate positive energy. Minimize time with those who consistently drain you or drag you down.
It's not about being rude, it's self-preservation.
It's protecting your mental ecosystem. Think of it like tending a garden. You want fertile soil, sunlight, clean water, not pollution and pests.
You wouldn't expect a flower to thrive in toxic soil. Great analogy. Surround your mind with nurturing influences.
Precisely. Our 4th technique, embrace mindfulness.
Mindfulness gets talked about a lot, but people sometimes misunderstand it, right? Thinking it's about stopping thoughts.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. It's actually the opposite. It's not about stopping thoughts. It's about becoming aware of them without judgment.
So how do you practice it?
Simply sit quietly for a few minutes. Observe your thoughts coming and going like clouds in the sky. Notice emotions. Notice physical sensations. Just watch, without getting caught up, without judging, without needing to fix anything.
Just being an observer of your own inner world.
Exactly. Taking a moment to just be with whatever is present internally.
And the benefit of that, beyond just feeling calm for a few minutes.
It develops metacognitive awareness. You start to see your habitual thought patterns, especially the automatic negative ones that usually run unnoticed.
Ah, so you catch them in the act.
Yes. And once you're aware, you gain choice. Instead of automatically reacting to an anxious thought, you can see it, acknowledge it, and choose not to follow it down the rabbit hole. You choose where to put your focus.
It creates that space between stimulus and response. Gives you agency.
That's the power of it. True freedom from reactive patterns. Okay, fifth and final workout for today. Master your inner dialogue. Improve that self-talk.
This feels related to affirmations, but maybe more defensive, like countering the inner critic.
Exactly. Many of us are just way too hard on ourselves. That inner critic can be relentless.
Saying things we'd never say to a friend.
Never. It's incredibly damaging.
Yeah.
So the practice here is, when you catch yourself in negative self-talk,
You challenge it immediately.
immediately, don't let it gain traction. And the specific technique we recommend is, for every one negative thought you catch, consciously replace it with 3 positive, realistic things about yourself or the situation.
3 positives for every negative. Why 3?
It helps to really outweigh the negative and strongly activate the positive pathways. It's about actively interrupting the old loop and forging a new one.
Okay, give an example. I think, I really messed that up.
You'd stop, then counter. 1, okay, that didn't go as planned, but I learned something valuable. 2, I'm capable of figuring out how to do better next time. 3, I have strengths in other areas, and this one mistake doesn't define me.
So it's specific, constructive, and reinforcing of your overall capability.
Yes. You're trying to genuinely access a more balanced and supportive perspective. You become your own advocate, your own best friend.
Building yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. That consistent interruption, that's how you retrain the brain's habit.
That's exactly how you repattern it over time.
Wow, okay, 5 really powerful, practical techniques. Gratitude, affirmations, environment, mindfulness, and mastering self-talk. That gives people a lot to work with.
It does. But now we need to talk about the journey itself. Section 4, the journey of lasting change.
Right, because this isn't magic. It takes time and effort.
Absolutely. The most important thing to understand is that this is a process. It's not an overnight fix. You won't wake up tomorrow completely transformed.
Managing expectations is key.
Crucial. But, and this is the encouraging part, consistent, intentional practice, even if it's just small steps each day, will lead to profound changes over time. Real, lasting changes in your brain and your experience of life.
So it's about consistency, not perfection. Like that garden analogy again. Daily watering, not one huge flood.
Exactly. Every time you choose one of these practices, you're strengthening those positive circuits. It compounds. Little by little, those neurological shifts build up. It's like training a muscle, or even like training a pet. Repeated positive reinforcement rewires the brain.
Every small effort counts towards that significant change. That's really empowering.
It is. Now, there's another really important point of clarification we need to make.
Okay.
While positive thinking is incredibly powerful, it's not a magic bullet for everything, especially when it comes to serious mental health challenges.
Right. We need to be really clear about this.
Absolutely. For someone dealing with, say, clinical depression or a severe anxiety disorder, just trying to think positive on its own is likely not enough, and it can even feel invalidating.
It doesn't replace professional help.
Absolutely not. Therapy, medication, professional support, those are essential when needed. But what we do see consistently is that these positive mindset practices can be an incredibly helpful complement to those treatments.
An additional tool in the toolkit?
Exactly. It builds resilience, provides coping strategies, enhances the capacity to navigate those challenges with a more hopeful outlook. It's not about ignoring the difficulties. It's about strengthening your ability to face them.
That makes perfect sense. It supports the overall healing process. It builds a stronger foundation.
Precisely. So, with all that said, perhaps a final thought for our listeners to take away today. Something to mull over.
Yeah, let's leave them with something provocative.
Okay, how about this? What one small, intentional, positive thought or action will you consciously choose to plant in your brain today? Right now or later today? Knowing that that single choice, that tiny seed, is actively laying the groundwork for a more resilient, more joyful, and ultimately a better tomorrow for you.
Ooh, I like that. What's the one small seed you'll plant today? That's powerful. What an incredible deep dive this has been.
It's fascinating stuff, isn't it? The power we have within our own minds.
It really is. We've covered so much the science of neuroplasticity, how neurons firing together really do wire together.
The huge range of benefits, emotional regulation, sharper thinking, even physical health boosts.
And those 5 core practical workouts: gratitude, affirmations, curating your environment, mindfulness, and mastering that inner dialogue.
Tools anyone can start using.
Absolutely. And remembering, it's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about building that inner strength, that resilience, that default optimism to face whatever comes your way.
Creating that better version from the inside out.
And that's what we're all about here at A Better Version of Myself. We genuinely believe you have the power to change, to grow, to thrive. We're just here to offer some guidance along the way.
We hope you feel empowered by this.
We really do. So take this knowledge, apply these practices consistently, and make it your mission not just to lift yourself up, but maybe spread some of that positivity around too.
It's contagious, remember?
It is. So if you found real value in the deep dive today, if something clicked for you, please do us a quick favor. Hit that like button. Maybe share this with a friend who could use a boost.
And definitely subscribe to A Better Version of Myself so you don't miss future deep dives.
We'd love to have you as part of our community. Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep diving deep, keep learning.
And keep building that better version of yourself.